This time on Frey, who had to come across new defensive work. DePaul comes back to take the free kick, takes his time, then does get it underway. Quickly being moved towards Segovia on the left-hand side, linking up nicely with Regular. Back in towards Suarez, 5 yards off the left corner of the penalty area, looking to find Messi inside the box, but 5 or 6 yards too short. Mukhtar over on the far side of the pitch again, wins there first, almost loses out on the second attempt, then it's full back into space on the right hand side. Now there is an opportunity for Nashville to attack. It's 3-on-3, space down the right, tries to float it in towards the box, over on that far side from Espinosa once again. Straight in towards Casemiro, who came back with the recovery tackle. He read the play ever so well. It was a beautiful ball from Najjar down the right hand side into the path of Espinosa. Surridge was racing in towards the box. He was slightly kicked by Moore inside the area. Had he gone down, the referee Fisher may have had a decision to make on that occasion. But across came Casemiro as the ball goes out for the corner kick in the first of the evening. To those in yellow, 3 minutes in this contest. 0-0 between these two sides. And again, I'll keep you up to date with the scores going in the 5 earlier kickoffs. As the reinforcements from the rear guard make their way up with Palacios and Walters. Sent in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Man goes down in Surridge inside the penalty area, and he's appealing towards the referee, but it falls on deaf ears. Comes back out towards Najjar, locks up and sends it towards Palacios, who wins the first header. Can't quite find the second, but Warledzi got the chest down, and then it just falls kindly in towards Tag Seth. Back in towards the centre circle with Palacios once again, as Nashville just tried to get their shape back into position as well, even though they're on the ball, but they've given it away towards Segovia. Far side of the pitch, tries to turn and move it around. Tag Seth, who just sticks a foot in but can't quite find the right pass. It's a little bit sloppy in the opening 4.5 minutes, and both sets of players just not able to keep hold of the ball. And now into Miami will just try and slow the game down with Frey halfway inside his own half, away to the left hand side, brings DePaul into play. Plays on the right hand of that 3 in the midfield with Casemiro, the man in the middle, and Bright on the left hand side. Messi loves to play on the right as well, cuts in onto that left. We've seen plenty of times, over 900 goals to his name, as Nashville have a throw over on the far side, trying to take it quickly for BJ Callahan's men. He was praising off into Miami before the start of this game. He was wary of the change of speed that they can have. His side have only lost 2 so far, and they should really not doubt themselves, as it's picked up by Baker Whitting down the left, tries to break in towards the box. It's a wicked ball in towards the penalty area, right across the edge of the 6-yard box. An inviting ball in. Mukhtar just came a little bit too late. Surridge was too far across, and it was comfortable in the end for Miami to clear their lines. But a real statement of intent from Baker Whitting down the left-hand side. He just found himself in space, driving at Moore. There's an excellent tackle, comes in again inside the Nashville half from Najjar once again, and he then just tried to race forward. The rest of the Nashville team went back inside their own half just to try and restart the momentum and the tempo once again. But the Nashville right back, the 33-year-old Honduran, he's had experience in Belgium and in America as well. He was selected as a 2026 All-Star, and he loves to attack from that full-back role. As a long ball sent over the top towards Saad on this left-hand side. Not had too much to do inside the opening 6 minutes. Pulls it back in towards Cunningham. 10 yards off the edge of the penalty, and the shot then comes in from Espinosa. His first sighter at goal, just palmed away by Rios Novo for a Nashville corner. But the first opportunity for those in yellow. Cunningham just moved it short in towards Espinosa. He just pushed it towards the right-hand side, past Bright, and then just tried to look for the strike into the bottom left-hand corner. It was a little too close for Rios Novo. A perfect height for the keeper, who starts ahead of Dane Sinclair, the Canadian international. As again the corner comes in towards an near post, is flicked on all the way in towards Rio Snovo. And it wasn't the most convincing corner from the far side on that occasion from Espinosa. He took a slight deflection on the way through. Oh, Baker White and Baker Whitting as it goes back again towards Rio Snovo. He's got to be quick there and just puts it out of play over on the far side. And Callahan was worried before this game about Miami's change of tempo that they can set. Well, Nashville, they're playing that high press. They're really closing down well. They're looking good both on the ball and off the ball inside the opening 7.5 minutes. It remains 0-0 here in Nashville. Montreal lead against DC United at the start of the second half there. Went in 0-0 at half-time up in Canada, but Owusu 5 minutes after the restart giving the Canadians the lead there. There's Eddie with the ball. Tag Seth wins are thrown over on the far side. Najar comes across quickly to try and take it in towards Tag Seth again. Lays it down towards Palacios, who's just hugging the touchline over on the far side of the pitch. He doesn't find an opportunity in a way through, so brings it back in towards Warledzi, who's getting his feet all in a muddle here under pressure from Lionel Messi, and just about keeps hold of the ball and turns and retreats back towards his goalkeeper. Schwake in his penalty away to the right hand side, but if that was Messi from a couple of years ago when he had a little bit more pace, he may quite well have picked the pocket of the Ghanaian centre half. He was a winter signing from Fredrikstad in Norway. He's added a bit of pace and physicality, and he needed all the physicality there. He's part of that defence. This helped with a league low of 14. We know how quickly football can change. We've seen that from the sides that dominated last year, the Shield winners, Philadelphia. Only 2 goals away from conceding as many goals this season as they conceded in the entirety of last campaign. There's a loose pass from Tag Seth, goes out for a throw-in level with the edge of the Miami penalty area. But these sides, they've met on a number of occasions. It never feels quite ordinary when they do come across each other. They met in the 2023 League Cup final at Nashville. It finished 1-1. Miami won the shootout 10-9 after Messi opened the scoring and Picoult equalised for the home side on that occasion. They met on decision day in 2025 again here in Nashville. Miami won 5-2 with a Messi hat-trick and securing the golden boot against Surridge, who was chasing him down. And then the postseason last year as well, Miami beating Nashville 3-1 before Nashville returned fire with a 2-1 win. Miami 4-0 in that decider. And then there's been the games on the continent as well in the last 16 back in March. 0-0 in Nashville, 1-1 in Miami. Messi once again scoring a goal. Espinosa equalised, but it was Messi getting his 900th goal on that occasion. Plenty that goes on in these games. It tends to go Miami's way. Miami with 5 wins, Nashville with 3 and 3 draws as well. As a ball down the left-hand side, played in towards the area by Saad, but goes straight in towards the side netting. He's appealing for a corner. He was running that way after good link-up play on the left. He just continued to drive, and I think he's got a case in point against the referee here, as it flicked off Casemiro and into the side netting. It looked like it did just go straight across, but on the replay you can see it's just come off the outside of the right boot of the former Manchester United midfielder, former Real Madrid man. What a contest we're expecting today. They've got plenty of exciting games coming up as well. for both of these two sides. Nashville away at New York, then 2 home games against Columbus Crew and Cincinnati, into Miami against Philadelphia Union, before 2 home games against 2 Canadian sides in Toronto and Montreal. But it's given away on the left-hand side inside the penalty area, and once again it's Saad trying to just stretch his legs and push it towards the byline to get a cross in towards the box. This time it took a more obvious deflection, and now he does have his corner kick, but superb work to win it back inside the Miami penalty area. It was Mora who tried to chest it down and turn it out of danger, but he ran straight in towards trouble, and that trouble was Elias Saad, the 26-year-old Tunisian. It was a July loan arrival from Augsburg, and wins a corner kick, sent in towards the box towards the far side. It's headed out by Casemiro, who just got underneath of his own keeper. Keeps his side under a little bit of pressure as Bright tries to clear his lines, and under the slightest touch from Palacios goes down and wins his side a free kick. 13 minutes gone, you're listening to an unofficial off-tube commentary of this game between Nashville and Miami. 0-0 is the scoreline. Nashville have been by far the better side in the opening exchanges of this game, but that challenge is certainly one we want to see rolled out of football. There's probably a couple of things that I think we'd like to see that are changed. Well, personally for me in Miami, again are poor, and they've just passed it straight into danger. A poor pass looking to go back was just played out for a throw-in, which is taken quickly by Najjar over on the far side, but there was no way through, and really they probably should have slowed it down. But that stutter penalty, that's certainly one I want to see eradicated from the game. There was one last night in English second tier that I was watching between Wolves and Blackburn. Raul Jimenez, the Mexican forward, must have stopped about 3 times. The shot comes from the edge of the area from Mukhtar. It was again poor from Miami. They had control of the ball, they then give it away, and they're just offering it on a plate to Nashville. And the captain, Mukhtar, almost said thank you very much. It was Mora once again who can't quite get hold of the ball. Bright was there once again. This time he threw himself to the floor, the referee having absolutely none of it. And Mukhtar wrapped his right boot around it and just dragged it wide to the bottom right-hand corner. And I think in the end, actually, the referee has brought it back for a free kick on Bright. And again, that is the other thing they want to see ruled out of the game, is when a defensive player is deep inside their own half and they get the slightest of touches, they win a free kick every single time. It should really go out of the game if it's not a challenge. If a forward was to do that, it's certainly not a foul if it happens again. And Mora's given the ball away again down the right-hand side. Oh, back in, and it's a superb save on this occasion, still inside the area, and then just snapped wide by Espinoza. But once again, poor from Mora, who's having an absolutely torrid time, the Argentinian on this left-hand side. He just got himself all in a muddle, played for a free kick once again, didn't get it. Saad picked up the ball, pulled it back in towards Mukhtar. He got his shot on target, he beat the defence, but he couldn't quite beat Rios Novo in the goal, who got down well to his right. He was then played back out towards Espinoza, who just snapped at it. And it went well wide. Rios Novo's his left-hand post, and it's once again with Saad on this near side, puts a wonderful ball towards the back post, and what a finish! That is from Nashville. They can't say it hasn't been coming, Miami, but Najjar races in at the far post completely unmarked. Saad has been brilliant on this left-hand side, and Music City is singing in Nashville. They make the move, they strike first in the battle for the summit, and the league leaders are tightening their grip on the top spot. Lovely play from Saad down the left-hand side. He just pulled it back onto his right on the left-hand corner of the penalty area, and he just put it through that corridor of uncertainty. It bounced once, straight into the path of Andy Najjar. He loves to attack from that full-back role. We mentioned that earlier. And he's there at the far post to just put it past the flailing. Rios Novo trying to get across his goal line. And Nashville lead here in the race for the top spot. It's Nashville 1, Miami 0. And Najat with a lovely header coming in at the back post. There's also been another goal in the game between Orlando City and Cincinnati. Spicer equalising 5 minutes ago after a couple of minutes after half time. There 1-1 is the scoreline. And the other game that kicked off at the same time as this one, 0-0 between Houston and LA Galaxy, who haven't quite been the side that they once were when they used to have the likes of David Beckham, Robbie Keane and a few others as well. But now it's time for Miami to wake up a little bit. DePaul sends it towards Murat down the right-hand side. He's had a really tough spell defensively. Can he do a little bit better on the attacking side instead? He's got a trophy-heavy spell at Racing Club, including the 2024 Sud-America and Recopa in 2025, but it's given away inside the Nashville half by Miami. And now it's a counter-attack again. It's 4-on-4. Play to Espinoza. Inside the area, goes for goal, and getting down well was the keeper once, and then just hacked behind the goal by Bright for a corner kick. But a lovely counter-attack once again from Nashville. It was Mukhtar racing down the middle. He just kept hold of it. He waited for the runners. They were covered on the left nicely, but on the right-hand side, Espinoza was there. He's had 11 goal contributions in 14 games for Nashville. And he almost found the 12th and his 4th goal of the campaign from the right-hand side, but not for a great save from Rios Novo, who's really keeping Miami in this. A little bit of pushing and shoving in the box between Palacios and Bright. The referee, Fisher, is coming across to have a word with it before the corner can be taken from Espinoza. Once again, he was San Jose's all-time assist leader before joining Nashville. He's got 8 to his name this campaign as well. And again, the pushing and shoving continues between the pair. It comes back out towards Sturridge. He leaves it for Mukhtar, but it's blocked on the way through. And Miami just caught lacking at the back. Lazy defending. As Lionel Messi can't quite get hold of the ball on the halfway line. He doesn't do too much defending in his latter years as a footballer, Messi. And he's just asking for his teammates to try and join him a little bit higher up. Not doing any pressing himself, though. Comes back out towards Baker Whitting. In towards Warledzi. These are one of the things that you sort of have to accept if you are on Lionel Messi's team, is that you are going to play with just 10 defenders rather than 11. He will try and support the high press as much as he can up the top of the field. You've got to bear in mind he is 39, but he also does so much in the attacking role that you can absolutely forgive him for that. He is one of, if not the best to ever do it. There's always going to be arguments and disputes between himself, Maradona, Pele and Cristiano Ronaldo. As it's lofted over the top towards Luis Suarez, looked offside for him. The linesman's flag stays down, but the referee points to the spot as Palacios takes him out. Palacios asked for offside on the first instance. The referee waves it away. And Luis Suarez found himself behind the back line. He felt a touch from Palacios, left a lazy leg in. It was a lovely ball over the top into the path of Suarez. He just took it onto his left. He was about to pull the trigger, and Palacios takes him out. And after all the hard work inside the opening 22 minutes of this game from Nashville, Palacios has given Miami the golden opportunity. And the referee is just waiting for the check to be complete for a potential offside. It's certainly a penalty. If it is onside, Palacios cannot believe it. The Colombian fouling the Uruguayan. And Lionel Messi now has the ball at his feet. Brian Schwacke in the goal against Messi. He missed a few penalties in the tournament in the summer. But to bring Miami back in it, Messi steps up and he's saved again. Comes back out and tucked away. But the flag goes up. The play's been stopped. And the referee has got a decision to make. Messi, we said he had a couple of misses during the summer tournament. Was there encroachment from the penalty? It was a poor penalty from Messi. It was a great save from Schwacke. And as Messi stepped up, there was encroachment from both sets of players. The keeper stayed on his line. The man who tucked it away in Regulion was certainly encroaching inside the box. There were also Nashville players inside the area as well. So which way does the referee pull this back? For me, it's got to be a Nashville ball. If the goal scorer was the man to encroach, it's no goal. If it's saved in the other team and it's not put in, then it goes back to being a penalty. And the worst thing Regulion could have done there is put the ball into the back of the net because it doesn't stand. Nashville retain their lead, but the referee is coming across to have a look at it instead. He gave the ball to the Nashville keeper, and now he's being called over. But he was certainly inside the box, Regulion. There's not a question about it. And the referee, he's had a look. He's had 3 minutes to make a decision since the penalty was taken. And it won't stand. Nashville still lead. Messi missing a penalty. Schwacke with the save. We should really say the American. He won the starting role from Joe Willis in 2026. He earned an all-star selection. And he's made a huge penalty save in Nashville's 25 trophy winning final. And he's made another penalty save here tonight against Lionel Messi, of all players. We mentioned a number of times Messi has missed penalties recently. That stutter penalty once again falling foul for the taker. Keepers are wise to it. Keepers know how to defend it now. And even the best of them all can't get the ball in the back of the net. Nashville still lead by a goal to nil. They've been the better side. You'd say it is deserved that they are ahead still. But Miami will be frustrated with that Regulion encroaching the difference after he put it in the back of the net. There's been a goal between Houston Dynamo and LA Galaxy as well. 1-0 to the hosts in that contest. Guilherme with a penalty of his own on the 21st minute. He found the back of the net, and DC United levelling up with 23 minutes to go against Montreal. Baribo with the goal for the away side in that contest. The majority of those games that kicked off an hour and a half ago. Can work out the time. We've got about 20-25 minutes left to play. 27 minutes into this contest. Nashville back on the ball, leading by a goal to nil. They've had a superb season so far. Just the 2 defeats. 40 points from their 18 games, 12 wins and 4 draws. Their foundation is certainly defensive. 14 league goals conceded, the best record in the competition at the cut-off. And it's been an absolute fortress here in Nashville. 8 wins, 1 draw, 0 defeat in the league. The best home return in the competition. Nashville have also supplied the league high 4 players in the 2026 All-Star group. Just another marker how far this side has come. They certainly have been, especially under Callahan. Last season they finished in 6th place from there after 34 games, getting themselves into those playoff positions. They finished 11th in the overall table, behind Seattle Sounders, New York City, Minnesota, Charlotte, LA, Vancouver, San Diego, Miami, Cincinnati, and Philadelphia. As a superb challenge goes in high up the pitch, and that one is applauded by those in yellow in the stand. And it's Saad once again, who's been absolutely magnificent inside this first half. He's putting Murray under so much pressure. He can't quite live with him, Murray. He just tried to clear his lines from his own byline. And across came Saad with that slide tackle. As it goes out of play, as we have a cooling break, as it's known in the US this season. So to have a quick hydration break and a libation. But Saad, he was the difference maker. That ball towards the far post was absolutely beautiful. It was played through the back line. There's nothing Miami defence could do about it. Regulion tried to get across and intercept it ahead of Najjar, who's got a wicked smile on his face on the near side. As both sets of managers go through their conversation with a goal between Atalanta and New York. RB as well, Muyumba levelling it up for Atlanta. 1-1 is the scoreline there. 1-0 is the scoreline here, as it is in Houston for the home side, leading against LA Galaxy. Toronto beating New England Revolution by 2-0. Orlando and Cincinnati, nothing can separate them at the moment. 1-1 is the scoreline. Charlotte and Columbus Crew, the same score as it was at half-time, 2-1 to the host. Montreal and DC United is 1-1. And Atlanta, just mentioned, against New York is 1-1 as well. A couple of other games will be kicking off this evening in 20 minutes time, or will be 30 minutes time. Colorado Rapids and Sporting Kansas, and Real Salt Lake against Minnesota United. And then an hour later, LAFC and San Diego go head-to-head, as well as San Jose Earthquakes and St. Louis City, both kicking off in an hour and 20 minutes time. And then tomorrow, Chicago Fire and Portland Timbers will contest with each other. New York City, Philadelphia Union, Austin and FC Dallas, Seattle Sounders and Vancouver Whitecaps will also challenge as well. And then there's a few day break between the next set of fixtures. Into Miami against Philadelphia Union, and New York RB is where Nashville will be playing their next game, as we're back underway in the 32nd minute. And Nashville already attacking with Sam Sturridge, and a challenge goes in, and it's a wonderfully timed challenge from Ian Frey. It was a much needed challenge, I was going to say. Couldn't quite get the words out as Sturridge was appealing towards the referee, trying to win himself a penalty at the other end, but it was a great challenge that came in. He had to win the ball. did Ian Frey. And there is a few protests that are going in. Suarez and DePaul crowding round the referee. As it will be the corner kick taken from Espinoza from this near side. Goes short instead towards Mukhtar. Back in towards Saad once again and in towards the area. Mukhtar came on to the end of it and then just couldn't quite get it on target. Over the top of the bar, but a wonderfully played set piece from this near side. It was short from Espinoza in towards Saad. Back towards Espinoza. The space opened up. DePaul's got his arms up saying, where's the rest of the defenders? And laid across towards the left. And they're going to make a change, Miami. Mora, who's an absolutely terrible time at right back, has made his way off. And Falcone will make his way on for Inter Miami. And you cannot say you can blame the Miami coach too much there. Guillermo Hoyos. He's seeing how easily Mora's being beaten by Saad and Mukhtar on the left-hand side. Normally it's the right-hand side which Nashville overload with Tag Seth and Espinoza. On this occasion, they're attacking more on the left-hand side and they've really struggled, and Falcon will try and offer a little bit more security on the right-hand side. The 29-year-old Uruguayan, a combative centre-half. Previously a title winner with Colo Colo in Chile. And now one of the Miami defenders back in this side, and it has been a question that's been asked for some time, really, over the last 2.5 years here in Miami, of what is the best partnership for centre-back. Casemiro's moved into a centre-half role. He appears at the moment, I'll confirm where those players have moved to in just a moment. DePaul still remains on the right. I think Freya's moved across towards right back, with Falcon moving towards the left, and that does look like it is the case. DePaul moving towards the right-hand side, pulls it back in towards Messi, but again a lazy pass in towards the Maestro. Ball cleared out halfway in towards the Nashville half, but Surridge is taken out. He comes to challenge for the ball and wins a free kick for the hosts. So with that change, Frey has moved to a right back role. Falcon is now in the middle with Casemiro also occupying a centre half role. Regulion on the left hand side, pushing a little bit higher up with Lujan moving across to the left back role as well. Now both of them two players are going to try and come across with the defensive work as Nashville come again. Falcon though wins the header from the edge of his own penalty area, but all he could do is play it out for a throw-in on this near side. He's a big centre half, an imposing figure is Falcon. He's certainly not on the slim side, that is for sure. He'll get his weight about, and it might be what he's needed. It's been way too easy again at the back for Palacios, just to walk around Luis Suarez, who flaps his sides with his hand. It's back out towards Baker Whitting on the left-hand side, plays in towards Saad on the near side, and this time he can't quite get the better of Casemiro, but the free kick goes Nashville's way, right on the edge of the penalty area of the left-hand side of the box, as Charlotte leads 3-1 against Columbus Crew with 15 minutes to go. As Beal adds a third for the host there, but Casemiro, who moved into that centre-back position, came across to try and win the ball against Saad, and in doing so gives the foul away, and a great opportunity for Nashville to put the ball in towards the box, and Mukhtar and Espinoza Both come across the stand over this. 2-3 yards just off the left-hand side of the penalty area for the home side. 8 minutes to go in this first half. You're listening to a non-official off-tube commentary of the game between Nashville and Miami. Nashville leading by a goal to nil. In a game that will see one of these two sides top of the league at the end of it. Just one in the wall with DePaul trying to put that near post. It's just a yard or so off level with that 6-yard box. As Mukhtar stands over it, Espinoza moves away. There's 4 inside the area and 3 lurking unmarked on the edge of the box. Instead he goes for goal. Mukhtar headed back out towards the edge of the area and the shot comes in and blocked once more. This time it was Segova getting in the way of Tag Seth, who tried to unleash on the eggs of the box. Mukhtar tried to catch. Miami unaware from the free kick, going around DePaul in the wall. But across came the defenders to head it back out in towards Tag Seth, whose shot was then blocked and out for a corner kick, which are mounting up in Nashville's favour inside the first half. Espinoza with the ball in again. This time it's punched away by Rios Novo, who was semi-challenged. It's played back again towards the left-hand side. Beautifully played in towards Espinoza. Bit of space for him, and it comes off Casemiro again, whose trailing leg does enough just to block the ball. And out for another corner in quick succession for the hosts. Their 6th of the evening so far. And Espinoza stands over it once more. Miami have just had a bit more of the majority of the possession, but 7 shots to 1 in Nashville's favour as it's gone short again towards Saad. Laid back out towards Espinoza on the left-hand side of the penalty area, and it's played in again. This time blocked from Suarez, and out for another corner kick. They're knocking on the door now, Nashville, looking for a second with 5 minutes to go before half-time. It was an easy corner once again. Miami just cannot live with Nashville. They're getting the blocks in, but they cannot stop Nashville from attack. And Espinoza this time plays it in between the keeper and defence. He's headed back out though towards Tagsef. Dancing through is Saad, and now they've got a free kick in an even better position as Bright just takes out Saad on the edge of the area. And what a first half he's having. Chested down, just cushioned in towards the Tunisian by Tagseth once again from the corner, cleared out into the Norwegian, chested it down towards Saad, and across came Brighton, if you'll pardon the pun. Wasn't very bright of him in a dangerous position. Mukhtar had a sighter from the left-hand side moments ago, and he now stands over it, the Nashville captain. Rios Novo getting his wall all lined up, and he's screaming at the defence. There's 3 in the wall. Nashville trying to make a wall of their own of 2. Mukhtar goes for goal over the top of the wall, but over the top of the bar as well. He kept the last one down. This one just couldn't quite dip. He needed to be another 2 or 3 yards further back to really test the keeper who was coming across. It's almost given away again by Frey in towards Saad. Played back across it again. Messi and Frey linking up, but just about getting away with it. It's played forward, and Miami tried to draw the free kick, but Bright isn't going to get given it as Walidzi. It will eventually be given on the near side. It's taken quickly in towards Messi. Loses the ball, and it's played back out towards Saad. And now Nashville with a bit of space. If Sturridge can turn and find a man. Mukhtar goes down inside the centre circle, and it's all getting a little bit scrappy and testy in this game. Back towards Saad again on the left-hand side, trying to drive in towards the box. He's crowded out by 2, and the substitute Falcon wins the ball ever so well as a man goes down inside the penalty area as well for Nashville in Surridge. But give away once more. It's poor for both sets of both teams, and Nashville will join in that sloppy play by giving it straight back towards Rios Novo. Neither side can keep hold of it in the last couple of minutes. The referee being asked plenty from both sets of players. Well, Miami trying to show us some signs of life. Messi feeding it through the gap in towards Frey, trying to break forward down the right, but superb defending from Waledzi, who's really fired up and tries to get the fans fired up behind the goal as well. He shepherded that out and then tries to orchestrate the crowd as well. Messi picked the ball up, just tried to slip it through the back line in towards Frey, who was attacking, but couldn't quite latch on to the end of it. 2 minutes then to go before we find out how much time will be added on at the end of the first half here in Nashville. Nashville may be a little bit upset that they aren't further ahead, and almost giving it away again with sloppy play from Schwacke out towards the edge of the penalty area, and then just hacked away and almost fed in towards Surridge. But Rios Novo was alert on the edge of his penalty area, raced out 20 yards, just put his foot through it. He's a Llanos developed goalkeeper. He made his Miami move permanent in January after being part of the 2025 title-winning cup, the Argentinian keeper. He's taken the shirt off. Dane Sinclair, the Canadian international who also signed in January. The substitute keeper was a 2022 All-Star MVP during his Minnesota career and played for Canada as well during the tournament in the summer, which was one to remember for the Canadians. Opportunity on the right-hand side, picked through by Sard over towards the far side into Espinosa, just a little bit behind him though, as he can't quite find the pass back in, looking for the runner of Najar once again, and that combination that's been linking up well on the right hand side, couldn't quite link up again, but again sloppy from Miami in the middle of the park, given away, and then Sard with the first time pass, just slicing it round the corner into the path of Espinosa, and he just slipped away from a little bit too, threw him too far wide. It allowed Miami to get numbers back behind the ball. Otherwise he would have found himself through on goal. Messi inside his own half, trying to creep across the halfway line, has to come back in towards DePaul. Paul first touch from DePaul, but his second finds Messi. Messi just skips towards the left hand side, almost runs into a little bit of pressure, but he gets there first, and if he gets there first he normally wins the ball, and it's sent down the left hand side, and it's an awful pass in the middle again towards Tag Seth, and Miami are having an absolute torrid time inside this first half. They're lucky that it is only 1-0 at the moment. Mukhtar with the ball goes down under a slight bit of pressure from Bright once again as 7 minutes are added at the end of this first half. The hydration break and the penalty and subsequent decision following the penalty is the reason for the additional added minutes. Mukhtar pulls his socks down. We see those modern day socks. They're not actually socks that go into the boot. Players now normally just wear their own socks that they find comfortable and then pull the team colour. Sort of leg warmers, if you will, you could probably miss. It's with Surridge on the edge of the penalty area, sitting on the D, but the linesman flag goes up on the far side of the pitch. For the first offside of the evening, 60 seconds into 7 added on. Nashville still lead by 1-0. Najar's goal, which came after some sustained pressure inside the opening 20 minutes, is what gives Nashville the lead so far. Messi had a penalty saved by Schwacke in the goal. And then Regulion's follow-up ruled out after he encroached inside the box as well. That's the only opportunity that Miami have had. A poor pass forces Falcon towards the touchline on this near side. He returns back towards his goalkeeper away to the left-hand side, plays in towards DePaul, space for him to run and drive towards the halfway line, feeds it in towards Suarez, can't quite get his feet together, and his pass towards Messi's misplaced, but it goes towards Ian Frey on the right-hand side, back in towards Messi, plays an extra ball towards the edge of the penalty area, away to the left-hand side, Segovia tries to turn and finds the back of the net, and there's the equaliser for Inter Miami on the stroke of half-time. Nashville punished Messi with a wonderful ball, and the champions answer. Nashville had one hand on a 5-point cushion, and Miami are ripping it away just before half-time. It was good work inside the middle, playing it in from DePaul towards Suarez. His pass was poor. It's what we've seen throughout the first half from Miami. Frey then plays it in towards Messi, and that one pass in towards Segovia. He did ever so well left. He drew the challenge in from Najar, who went to the ground, and then Segovia turned on a dart, pulled it back onto his right, and just placed it wonderfully into the bottom right-hand corner. Oh, Schwage's goal, there's nothing the keeper could have done about that one, and this one will stand. It's Nashville 1, Inter Miami 1, and straight away from the kickoff there's a coming together between the two sides as well. Of handbags as well, as Casemiro just points and says move away, with the frown that he's got on his face. It was Falcon who came across. He's got that haircut. Sort of side hobby if you want an old. So it's the old school Simpsons. Apologies, I haven't ever watched Simpsons, the new versions, although I'm excited for the announcement of a new film at least, and it was given to Nashville, and then Falcon just put a slight touch behind him, and he embarrassingly went down to the ground to try and draw a card from the referee, and the referee almost issuing a card to Falcon himself. 4 minutes into 7 added on. Nashville will be frustrated they're not going into half-time with a lead, and a cushioned lead to boot as well. So I will be grateful with how this first half is going to see itself out. In the other games, Montreal and DC United 1-1 in stoppage time. Atlanta lead by 2-1 against New York RB. Then with all, and the second Toronto leading against New England Revolution. Orlando and Cincinnati 1-1. Charlotte leading against Columbus Crew 3-1. As Miami could well turn this game on it just before half time. Got their tails up as they move it towards the left side. Slow, methodical play from them, and they just try to keep hold of the ball. Montreal, as we mentioned, still 1-1 there, and then Houston Dynamo and LA Galaxy also drawing closer to half time. 1-0 still the lead for Houston in that contest. DePaul inside his own half, almost loses it out towards Saad, but wins a free and then tries to take it quickly. Played in towards the middle, and then it did find its way in towards Lionel Messi. The referee probably could have played on there, as I don't think that free kick was intended for anywhere else, but the referee has pulled it back, and the booking is issued by the referee for Sam Surridge, who always seems to find it a little bit tougher. Again, Inter Miami, compared to 20 of the league, he was chasing for that top golden boot race last season against Lionel Messi. A hat-trick in the final game from Messi against Nashville. Here's what gave him that golden boot. It's still inside the Miami half. Those in black have their tails up at the moment. Falcon breaking down the right towards Messi. Skips past Saad. Driving with Frey as well with support. Messi continues to go alone. Feeds it towards the left-hand side. Opportunity for Miami right at the end of the first half, but the pass back towards Messi. Intercepted well by Tagseth, who read it like and he just puts it out of play for a throw-in on the far side, and Messi frustrated with the return pass. But I don't think it was the correct pass that Miami should have made in that instant. Tagseth, you could see, was reading it ever so well. There's a loose pass, is intercepted by Saad once again. Sturridge taken out by Falcon, who's lucky to not be booked again, and his rather exaggerated protest towards the referees. He runs off from the Uruguayan. He's certainly got a personality about, a smile on his face. He has just tried to shore up that right-hand side since coming off the bench after Mora really struggled inside the opening 35 minutes of this game, where overtime added on. Frey brings it inside the Nashville half, but that will be the end of what has been an exciting first half, and one that Nashville will be disappointed with, and one that Inter Miami will be delighted with at half-time. It was Nashville who started their brighter. They kept on coming, and it was a beautiful ball from the left-hand side, played into that corridor of uncertainty between the keeper and the defence. A lovely whip ball in, and Najjar found himself at the back post to just knock it in from a yard out. It then looked like Nashville were going to try and make it 2-0, a couple of block shots before Suarez was fouled by Palacios inside the area, and then up stepped Lionel Messi for his penalty, was saved by Schwacker, and then Regulion's follow-up was ruled out for encroachment. Nashville kept on coming. They've dominated all the stats in this first half, but on the stroke of half-time, in stoppage time, Messi found the path towards the left-hand side, in towards Segovia. He turned beautifully, drew out the challenge from Najjar, opened up the space on his right, and just tucked it into the bottom left-hand corner of Schwacke's goal to bring Inter Miami level at half-time. Nashville will be frustrated. They would have liked to lead, a cushion lead at that. Their defence, only been undone 14 times this season, has been undone again this evening. Inter Miami, though, can't stop scoring, and they've scored once more, and they always seem to score against Nashville as well. Half-time, and this second half exciting game between the top two is coming up in 15 minutes' time. But at half-time, it's Nashville 1, Inter Miami 1.
On the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
Welcome back all for the second half here in Nashville. We are almost ready to get underway for the second 45-minute period. If it was normal, it had kicked off 20 minutes or so ago. But after the start of the games, gets delayed by about 10 minutes for TV and advertising. MLS, the games in America, so never kick off at the advertised time. But here, a little bit of time added on at the end of the first half as well, just means we're going to kick off a little bit late at the start of the second half. The Nashville players are coming out and having a little bit of debate with referee Drew Fisher as a light show goes on here from the fans in the stands, as Inter Miami slowly make their way out of the tunnel. It's first against second. Nashville ready and eager to get underway again for the second half. 1-1 was the scoreline in the first half. The Najar goal and Segovia goal, the difference between the two. Segovia getting his third goal of the season. In between those two goals, a Lionel Messi penalty was saved by Schwack. It was Messi's 35th penalty miss in 151 penalties taken. He missed 2 during the tournament in the summer. And Schwack saving his 5th penalty of the 15 that he's faced in his career. A couple of those were when he used to play in Scotland for Greenock Morton. And Lionel Messi couldn't quite add to the number of goals that he scored against Nashville. 16 he scored against Nashville, more than any other side in the USA. Well, there is still plenty of time to go. If you are wondering which side he scored more than any against, it is Sevilla. 38 goals, 6 more than any other side he has faced. Real Madrid is about 4th or 5th on that list, and they are eventually making their way up into Miami from the dressing room, holding up Nashville just a little bit longer. They'll do it on their own terms, on their own time, as a couple of other games have kicked off as well about 10 minutes or so ago. Colorado Rapids and Sporting Kansas City and Real Salt Lake against Minnesota United. Both those games 0-0 so far. Houston Dynamo and LA Galaxy just kicked off the second half, still 1-0 to Houston Dynamo there in Brazil. Sao Paulo and Coritiba is 1-1 in stoppage time. And in Mexico, Monterrey, who beat both of these two sides, are beating Juarez inside the first half by 3-1. And in the Women's League, Portland Thorns are drawing with Orlando Pride 0-0 in that one in Florida as well. So I'll keep you with the scores. The 3 games going on in and around the same time as this one. We're almost about to get underway for the second half here. No changes for either side. Miami will kick us off, going from right to left in that all black and pink trim. Nashville, the home side, going from left to right in the yellow, blue and yellow combination kit. As we are underway here in Nashville for the second half. Miami trying to pressure inside the opening 20 seconds down the left-hand side, but they're forced back again to the goalkeeper, Rios Novo, in the goal, which gives me a little bit of time to run you through the teams in this second half. So Rios Novo is in the goal for the away side. Frey playing it right back after Mura was taken off inside 30 minutes after he was really struggling in that game, as Messi tried to play it forward in towards Suarez, but can't quite find the intercept, then just hacked away towards the halfway line into Casemiro. Knocked down again in towards Messi. Casemiro on the right hand side, a slight late touch from Frey, like run from Frey, just delays it, a little chest down inside the area. Nashville able to come away with it with Najar. So Frey's at right back, Falcon and Casemiro in the middle. Lujan is playing it left back, Regulion just in front, Paul over on the right hand side, Bright to the midfield 3, with Messi, Suarez and Segovia up front. And for the host, Chuake, the man that saved the penalty inside the first half, is in goal. Palacios Waledzi and Baker Whitting are the back four. Seth, Bukaran and Saad, who was superb in that first half of midfield. Three in Espinosa, Surridge and Mukhtar, also excellent, are the three up front. It comes towards Messi and it's straight at the grateful keeper of Schwake inside the box. He just had it at his feet. All he needs is a quarter chance, Lionel Messi. And that's all he was really given there. It was a great run forward by Bright, who just slipped it in towards Messi, who just got his boot underneath it and just played it straight at the goalkeeper as Casemiro goes into the book for a late challenge and coming from underneath Sam Sturridge on the halfway line. And he's put a couple of challenges in this game, Casemiro. And the referee says he's had enough. And the free kick goes Nashville's way and the card goes against the former Real Madrid man. It's the best home form against the best away form. Nothing to separate them at the moment. 8 wins, 0 draws. 1 draw, 0 defeats at home for Nashville. 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat on the road for Miami. 15 goals conceded for Nashville, the league leaders, and fewest goals conceded in the competition. Messi has 12, Surridge has 11. Pull back towards the left corner of the area, towards Saad again. Played in towards the middle, towards Mukhtar, and it's 2-1 to Nashville. And at the start of the second half, they restore their lead once more. It was a beautifully taken finish, and Mukhtar, who had a few sighters in the first half, just plays it into the bottom corner. And Mukhtar makes Music City move. Nashville's talisman delivers in the biggest league game of the season, and the leaders are back in front once again. It was a lovely ball down the left-hand side. Baker, Whitting and Saad linked up. The pass in between the defence of Falcon and Bright caught them both unaware, and there was Mukhtar just to pull it onto his left-hand side and just play it across the face of goal. And Rios Novo just watched as it went into the bottom left-hand corner, and the side top of the table are back in front once again. It's Nashville 2, Inter Miami 1. And whatever team talk went on from BJ Callahan at half-time has certainly worked. The captain strikes. And from the tight angle gives Nashville the lead once more as Suarez wins a free kick on the halfway line. That's just the start to the second half that Nashville will have wanted. They were far, far better inside the first half. Suarez still protesting with the referee. He certainly won't let it up. He's a personality that football will miss when he does retire. He's given away by Miami in the centre of the pitch, and Mukhtar trying to stretch his leg down the left-hand side. He's supported by Saad. Pulled back onto his right, trying to take on Falcon. In towards Surridge on the edge of the box. Continues over towards Espinosa. The players coming back in towards the box. Mango's down inside the area in Saad, but nothing on it. And the referee will allow Miami to come away with the balls. Juarez moves it in towards Frey. Links up on the far side of the pitch. Again with Messi. Returns it back in towards Frey, who's tried to return it back in towards Messi once again, which seems to be the inevitable tactic. If you're having a 1-2 with Messi, the final ball is always to go back to Messi. He just couldn't quite find the pass there. And Nashville, who scored inside 21 seconds against Monterrey on Wednesday, Casem's club record goal. Right at the start of the second half, as the ball tries to pick it over across towards Messi's first time on the turn strike over the top of the bar. He just didn't quite make the connection he would have hoped for on that occasion. He almost got it absolutely beautifully, laid it in towards the ball, continued his run. The ball from the edge of the D just flicked it over the top. Messi was under pressure from Waledzi as he just tried to turn and see it into the back of the net. But couldn't quite get over the top of the ball, and it goes over the top of the bar itself as Monterrey have a fourth against Juarez in the Mexican League. Suarez wins the ball, goes back in towards Bright, who goes down under the challenge from Sard, and rather theatrical from Bright to try and draw out the card against Sard, but the referee is just going to give the free kick and nothing else. It will punish the Inter Miami man. But it's Nashville who lead by 2-1 here. And Mukhtar goal 3 minutes inside the second half. A perfect start to the contest, and Sard is back to his feet as the man he took out on the ball. The referee tries to hurry things up, and the free kick is eventually taken, and Najjar will just send it forward out for a throw-in to Regular. The former Spurs man will get hold of the throw-in, trying to gain a couple of yards from the near side, but the linesman shouting to hold his position. A tackle goes in on Suarez. A couple of players going down simultaneously together, and it's won back by Nashville. Played in towards the area. Lovely little touch there from Mukhtar, but just pulled back ever so slightly by Lujan. There's good defensive work. It's played across towards the far side. Frey wins it and turns nicely. Back in towards the Paul. Just inside the Miami half now. They're trying to break with Messi over on the far side. Continues to go 5-6 yards just off the edge of the penalty area. Cross in towards the D towards Suarez. First touch is the poor one. Kindly falls to Messi again, who's now moved to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Drives in towards the box. Continues to try and wriggle free and find some space, but he can't quite find the pass. And it's just hacked away higher than Bob Marley. Halfway inside the Nashville half. Still, though, Miami will come over on the far side with DePaul. His cross is blocked, though, by Baker Whitting, who has them rather awkwardly tucked shorts that he likes to wear. They look a little bit like sort of the 80s shorts you used to see. A bit too revealing, if you will. But 9 minutes inside the second half. This is unofficial off-tube commentary. The ball goes in towards the area. Tackle goes in on Suarez. He's not protesting that one as Palacios came across, and it's played out of danger for a corner by Najjar once again. But Palacios just stood behind Suarez. It was that combination that led to the penalty inside the first half. But on this occasion, no foul from the referee as Messi comes across to take the corner kick. Just the second of the evening for Miami. 10 minutes then into the second half. Still 0-0 between the two games that kicked off 25 minutes ago. Messi's ball wins cleared out by the first man at the near post. Down towards Segovia. 5 yards off the near touchline, halfway inside the Nashville half. Back towards Regular. Swings it. A long-ranging ball towards the right-hand side of the Nashville penalty area, but it's returned back towards the halfway line. Side goes down under the challenge. The referee waves it away. Picked up in the middle by Segovia inside the centre circle. Drives it in towards Suarez. Lays it across towards the left-hand side in towards Regulion. Back in the middle again towards Suarez as they'll link up once more. Regulion gains a couple of yards. Plays it short in towards Segovia. Nice little interchange plays. A tackle goes in on Lionel Messi. The referee not buying that one either. Messi's trying to protest the referee still, but he's not going to get anything for that. I don't think there was anything in it either. Now Nashville will counter over on the left-hand side with Sard once again. Pulls it back in towards Baker Whitting, who's passing towards Mukhtar's Paul, but it comes back out towards the left back. Still going to go. Drives onto his right. Pulls it across towards Espinosa. Back across the box, and it's tucked away by Surridge. And what a delightful touch to double the advantage for Nashville. And Sam Surridge with the finish, the little back heel to just tuck it in behind Rios Novo. The Miami players still protesting about the challenge on Messi. 30 seconds before, I don't think they've got much to appeal. But a lovely counter down the left-hand side from Saad. Pull back into Baker Whiting. Poor first pass from himself. He then won the ball back. Lazy defending as it's pulled across the right-hand side into Espinoza, who adds another contribution. His 12th in 15 games for Nashville. And he just lays it in towards Sam Surridge, whose little cheeky back heel doubles Nashville's advantage. And they're turning Music City into misery for Miami. 2 goals clear, 5 points clear as it stands. The league leaders are making a statement. And Surridge goes level with Messi. His 12th goal of the season. And 12 minutes into the second half, Miami still protesting the challenge on Messi earlier. Messi laughed it off. He's not got that smirk he had against England on this occasion. Can you tell him a bitter Englishman? Probably. He's still protesting. He wags his finger in the referee's face. He really probably should be going in the book, Lionel Messi, for his protest here. He gets a bit of leeway for what he's done for the sport, but it came across. I don't think that's a foul on him. And then whilst he was protesting, he could have got back to help his team defend. Instead, they were caught lacking at the back. Messi does go into the book, applauds sarcastically. The referee had enough of it, and rightly so. Sometimes you have to accept a decision hasn't gone your way. It doesn't matter who you are in the game. As Miami is on the restart, give the ball away once more. Saad, play back in. Can they get another one on the... Oh, and it almost found a way through. And they almost found 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. Miami sloppy at the back once more. Gave the ball away straight from kickoff. That goal has really caused a mess. Seeing the Miami side here is going Nashville's way on home soil. Segovia tries to feed it in, has a shot himself, blocked, and back out towards Tagzeth. Laid down towards the jar on this right-hand side. They're looking for a killer blow here. Nashville through the legs of Regulion by Espinoza in towards Tagzeth once again, who wins the corner. Off Lujan, who came across and just had to get a block in him with 30 minutes to go. In this game, is going all Nashville's way. They couldn't find the second goal to double their advantage in the first half. They were punished right at the end of it. They're making no similar mistake inside the second half. Espinoza comes across to take the corner from this near side down the right-hand side as Nashville attack. An out swinging ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box. The 6 inside the box, clear back out towards the edge of the penalty area, and then the follow-up header that came in from Mukhtar is claimed out to the sky rather comfortably by Rios Novo. Eat and drink for the goalkeeper as it's sent long in towards the Nashville half. Returning fire with a bit of tennis in towards Casemiro. Tries to set them on the way again, this time down the left-hand side into Segovia. Under pressure from Saad and Espinoza, who just gets a foot in there, but goes back towards Segovia, and it's given away by De Paul. And the most experienced players of this game are having probably the worst game for Inter Miami. De Paul, Suarez and Messi can't seem to keep hold of the ball themselves. They are the main attacking outlet, but here comes the jar again down the right-hand side. He just couldn't feed it in towards Espinoza. Tried to do a little bit too much, the pass a little too heavy. And out it goes for a goal kick. Miami back on the ball. Once again with the ball. Turns. Drives towards the centre of the pitch and slide tackle goes in and it's almost won back by Nashville on that occasion. Once again, as the challenge went in from Corcoran. Been doing the unseen work in this game in the middle of the park. Corcoran, he hasn't had too much time on the ball, but he's been doing that quiet, unseen business and keeping Nashville with plenty of possession and putting Miami under pressure, controlling that midfield with the excellent tags Seth and Sard on either side. But it was the attacking of Inter Miami we were talking about before the start of the game. We did mention the quality that Nashville had, but they've really been showing up. They're champions this evening. And the side's going for the league shield, putting on an entertaining show here with Frey over on the far side and just draws in the foul and an opportunity to put a ball in towards the box and to test Schwaker a little bit more inside this second half. It's about 15 yards off the edge of the penalty area and the ball goes in towards the box, but it's too close towards Schwaker, who gets on with it quickly, tries to send it long. And Rios Novo, it's an absolute calamity at the back from the keeper, and it's going to set up a fourth for Nashville. An empty net, and it's tucked away straight from the Miami free kick in towards Schwaker, who gets the assist. His long ball bounced in front of Rios Novo, who lost his footing, and up stepped Mukhtar, who just comfortably found himself in on goal. He kept himself onside, he kept the ball in his possession. He didn't try anything fancy. He made sure he had the best opportunity and then just casually sent it into the middle of an empty net. And it's going from bad to worse for Inter Miami. And what a night this is turning out to be for Nashville. It's Nashville 4, Inter Miami 1. And what an absolute howler that is for Rios Novo in the goal. Mukhtar with his second. As he put it in towards an empty net. He signals a love heart to the fans in the stand as the Nashville captain is on a hat-trick with 25 minutes to go in this game. What a moment for him. What an awful moment for Rocco Rios Novos. And now Miami have it all to do. Can they come back from this one? We've seen they've had plenty of goals in them this season. They're going to need to score a handful if they want to find a way back into this game. But Miami have looked sloppy and poor throughout the contest. Nashville started brightly and they only got brighter. They were undone right on half-time. But they didn't let that get to them. You almost felt like the tide had swung into Miami's favour. With that goal as Sturridge feeds it in towards side on the left-hand side. Tries to get himself back in towards the area. Mukhtar was in space, but a good block on the follow-up cross. Cleared towards the far side. DePaul gives the ball away once again. Falcon with the header down towards the edge of the box once more. Nashville looking for a fifth. The fans here with the band away to the left-hand side as a good challenge goes in from Segovia to win the ball. Drives down the left-hand side as blinking first in this second half will be Nashville on the touchline. It looks like Alex Mule and Abdul Shakur Shaq Mohammed, the Ghanaian and the American, will be the ones to come on as Messi plays in towards Segovia. Messi goes down the edge of the area. Segovia goes for goal, but he just plays it wide, and now the free kick goes Miami's way, and Messi's asking for a yellow card, and in modern day football we've seen that being given as a yellow card, but he's going to get away with it on that occasion. He's won his side a free kick. The referee played advantage well as it fouled towards Segovia, who strike from the edge of the area. Just couldn't quite curl back in on goal. But Messi ran into the path of Palacios as he tried to continue his run, but the referee giving the free kick Miami's way. And Messi will stand over this. We've seen him do it a number of times. They're going to find a way back into this game. It's going to be through the little magic maestro. Can he add another? He scored his 900th goal against Nashville in 2025. He's scored more goals against Nashville than any other side in America, with 16 to his name. He also has 6 assists to his name against the yellow and blue. Cucurán goes down on the behind the wall. There's 5 in the wall. It's in the centre of the D here. It's perfect positioning for Lionel Messi. Make that 6 in the wall. In fact, there's probably 8 in the wall here now for Nashville. DePaul also stands over it. Everyone inside the box for Nashville. Messi stands over it, straight into the wall. Back out towards Messi, blocked again by Taxev as it's flicked over the top, looking for Falcon. And the Nashville fans in the stand rise to their feet as their team stood tall and denied Messi from the free kick. It wasn't the best of free kicks from Messi. We have seen him do far, far better, even just this season. But Taxev with back-to-back blocks. And with 22 minutes to go, it's that type of heroic and brave defending right on the edge of your own area that wins you a game against sides like Inter Miami, and their defence never seems to give an inch, does Nashville. Here's Lujan, plays it in towards Regular on this near side. Those 2 substitutes still waiting to come on for Nashville. They're in no rush. Oh, the home side. Miami, though, need to be in a rush themselves and up the tempo if they want to try and find a way back in. Nashville leading by 4 goals to 1. You're listening to an unofficial off-tube commentary. Messi again goes for goal from long range, and this time it's straight at the keeper and comfortable to get down well. He had to be alert. He's going down towards his right-hand side. As Lionel Messi just tried to test the keeper from range. It's sent long once more. The keeper who has an assist to his name this evening. With 19 minutes to go, Houston and LA Galaxy still 1-0 to the home side there. Messi once again starting to liven up inside this second half. Back towards the ball, flicked in towards the area and then knocked back across the penalty area by Najar. Frey goes backwards in towards the ball again. Tries to play it in towards the edge of the penalty area towards Bright. Back towards Messi. Goes down inside the box, but the challenge comes in from Palacios, and it looked like it might have come back off Messi again, but the referee was a little bit closer than we are here. Just behind the dugouts. And it will be a corner kick to Inter Miami, and Palacios, who's holding that right thigh. Looks like he might have a bit of cramp. He has signalled that he wants to be changed here. Falcon is helping him with a little bit of cramp, and they're going to bring on a third change as well. As Jack Mayer also has quickly got himself ready for Nashville. Miami started just put a little bit of pressure on. Nashville know the game is completely in their hands now at this stage. So the 3 players coming on. Jack Mayer, a 26-year-old American, Nashville's first ever league super draft selection. Taken number 2 overall in 2020. He's grown with the club. The Ghanaian Shaq as well, the midfielder, former high draft pick. Offers some athletic ball carrying and scored in August in their trip to DC. And Alex Mule, another 30-year-old American high-energy two-way midfielder, one of Nashville's longest-serving outfield players as well. He's valued for his work without the ball. That's what they're going to need. And coming off is Espinoza, the young Argentinian, or the Argentinian. Also coming off is Elias Saad. And the third change is Palacios, who signalled moments ago the experienced Colombian. So 3 changes made. Espinosa and Saad have been wonderful, especially Saad on that left-hand side. All make their way off. 2 midfield, 1 defensive change. He'll likely change the shape as the corner's taken in towards the ball. The keeper comes and flaps at it, and it just about goes out for a corner kick. Nashville will protest and say the keeper didn't get anything onto it, but Lionel Messi will come across to take the corner kick. Schwake apologises to his team. He just came out and supermanned it and completely missed the ball. And he allows another corner. Goes short again from Messi towards the ball. 5 yards off the right-hand side of the penalty area. He's a lovely ball in towards the box. Casemiro off the crossbar. And then the return ball back in, cleared away by Nashville. It took forever to come down from the sky. That one from Casemiro. It never really looked like it was going to go in. It bounced off the top of the crossbar and out. Segovia down the left-hand side. Trying to break down the left channel back towards Regulion. Can't quite get hold of it, but neither can Nashville. As the reply will come on the subs bench from Inter Miami. As they'll make 2 changes as well, with Noah Allen and David Ruiz as well, making their way on. Palacios has been stretched off on this near side. He looks like he's pulled his hamstring there. That will be an important one, as we do have the hydration break. Before those 2 changes can be made, but it will be Noah Allen, the 22-year-old American homegrown, who debuted for the first team in 2022, one of the longest serving graduates still with the senior squad, and David Ruiz, a 22-year-old Honduran midfielder, born in Miami, the Honduran International Academy graduate, became the first Inter Miami Academy product to score a first-team goal in 2023. How they will need him to add to his tally in the final 15 minutes of this game. Still Houston 1, LA Galaxy 0, Colorado Rapids 0, Sporting Kansas 0, Real Salt Lake 0, Minnesota United 0 as well. There has been a red card in the game between Colorado Rapids and Sporting Kansas. Aguirre seeing a straight red moments ago in the Women's League. Portland Thorns and Orlando Pride with 13 minutes to go are drawing 1-1 in Mexico. Monterrey are beating Juarez by 4 goals to 1. With the second half just getting underway. They were 3-0 up inside half an hour. Were the hosts. In the American Championship, Colorado Springs, Birmingham Legion is 1-1, San Antonio 0, El Paso Locomotive winning on the road 3-0 there, New Mexico and Tulsa's 0-0, Louisville City beating Orange County by a goal to 0, and Oakland Root and Monterey Bay is 0-0, as Regulion and Frey are the 2 players who will be replaced. So 2 defensive players coming off for 2 attacking players. For Miami, the 2 fullbacks making their way off. Apologies, Allen is a defensive player, but Ruiz is a bit more of an attacking outlet for Miami to make his way on. Well, they've got less than 15 minutes plus around about 6 or so minutes of added time that will be added on at the end of this game. But down the right-hand side is a substitute for Nashville. And it was Shaq, the man, who found himself in plenty of space down the left-hand side. He was coming up against Allen, and those fresh legs weren't paying off for a moment. The cross came back in, an inviting ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Cleared out in the end by Miami. Segovia stretching his legs in towards Allen, who's now made his way forward. Strode in towards the box, then comes back out after he just runs into a little bit of Nashville traffic. Back towards the Paul, 15 yards off the edge of the penalty area, right down the middle of the goal. Swings it towards the right, in towards Messi. Continues it over towards the right-hand side. Back in towards Suarez inside the box. Can't quite get it out of his feet. And under pressure, loses out on the ball as it's then played out of danger by Corcoran. Looks towards the halfway line, in towards Mukhtar, who just comes in behind Falcon, who asks for a free kick. He's not going to get one. He's got a wry smile on his face there, Falcon. He tends to have that. He always seems to disagree with the referee's decision, but he looked like he played for it on that occasion. And he can certainly smile and laugh that one off. Maybe in jest more than anything else, but it's Nashville leading by 4-1. 12 minutes plus stoppage time to go here in Tennessee. Excuse me. Should really take a hydration break myself as it just dries up a little bit, especially when there's so much action going on in the game. A poor pass from Miami, picked up by Tigseth. Plays it towards the left-hand side of his own half. And just hugging the touchline is Baker Whitting. Nice little play in towards the middle to link up Corcoran and Tigseth over on the far side of the pitch. A push goes in towards the back of Tigseth, and it's played again towards the right-hand side. In towards Shaq. Pulls it back across, and what a great last-ditch tackle that is from Falcon to stop Surridge adding a fifth. Surridge gives him a little pat on the back as well. Gives him a bit of praise and respect for the challenge that came across. Shaq's brilliant first time ball in towards the penalty area, met by Surridge, but across came Falcon to just step across his man and get there ahead of the striker, looking for his second. Miami, whose first trophy was won against Nashville on this very pitch 3 years ago, is proving to be a far trickier evening. Last year, Nashville won their first trophy, Miami won their first championship. These sides always have a little bit of history. And a little bit more being added tonight as well. As the corner comes in, it's a little bit too long. Play back out towards Mukhtar on the right-hand side, but just tries to go down under the slightest challenge and can't quite fool the referee on that occasion. Played across, though, the edge of the penalty area by Miami. As Ruiz went into the book by the referee, and I think he must have said something to the referee, because I couldn't quite see the reason for him to have gone into the book, but he must have said something, the man who only came on moments ago for the away side, as the game just starts to slow down a little bit. Nashville on the ball, they're in absolutely no rush and want to treat the last 10 minutes as a training exercise more than anything else. In towards Baker Whitting. Cross to the left-hand side once more. In towards Moore. Back again towards Tigseth. Just returns back in towards his own half. Just keeps trying to turn and find and wriggle a little bit of free space. His pass forwards then returned back to him, but given away towards Lionel Messi. Space on the right-hand side. Played across towards Segovia. Excellent first touch inside the area, and how he's not scored. Only he can answer that. It was a beautiful ball in towards the box. Segovia with an excellent first touch behind the back line. It was Suarez with a beautifully timed cross, and Segovia just couldn't quite get it out of his feet. And getting down is Schweiker to stop Miami finding a potential way back in with just less than 10 minutes to play. But what a chance that is for Segovia to get his second. Of the evening from the Suarez cross on the right-hand side. And he's back on the ball again. Here's Suarez. Moves it across towards Allen on the left-hand side. Back in towards Suarez, who tries to return it down the left channel. But in stepping was Meyer, the substitute, who puts it out of play for another corner kick this time for Miami. Real Salt Lake in Minnesota's 0-0 at half-time, and creeping close to half-time is Colorado Rapids and the 10-man of Sporting Kansas. 0-0 it is there. DePaul takes the corner, goes towards Segovia, back towards DePaul on the left channel, tries to whip it in towards the 6-yard box, but it's met by Mayer. Ever so well as Messi was lurking on the edge of the penalty area. DePaul again with the ball, floats one in towards the box. Falcon clears it outside of the Nashville penalty area. And doing the defensive work himself at the wrong end of the pitch. Surridge levels it towards the left-hand side and invites Cochran onto the ball. Comes back though in towards Tagseth inside his own half and just allows the home side to reset and start again. And when it was the best home side against the best away side, it's the home side who are getting the better of it. Mukhtar plays it over the top towards Surridge on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Numbers back for Miami inside the box once again. Mukhtar with the ball, playing it alongside towards Cochran. E.J. Callahan is the second head coach in Nashville's league era history. He was appointed in July 2024. His contract's extended in February of this year through to the end of the 28-29 season. His first full season brought the first trophy in a raft of club records. And his 2026 side has become notably complete. Aggressive fullbacks, pressing, only the 15 goals conceded as well. Guillermo Hoyos into Miami. He took charge when Mascherano stepped down. He's got more than 20 years of international coaching. He's been in the likes of Argentina, Mexico, Chile, Greece, Cyprus and Bolivia, as Lovitz will make his way on for Lujan. As the substitute makes his way on. So Lovitz makes his way on for Nashville, not for Lujan. Looking at the wrong team sheet for a moment, but Lovitz will make his way onto the pitch for the home side in place of Najat, the man who opened the scoring this evening for Nashville. And the fullback, who's had an excellent game, will find himself replaced by the 34-year-old American. He's been with Nashville since their inaugural 2020 season. He's an experienced left-back, former US international as well. And he's been brought in for the final 6 minutes just to shore up this game. Guillermo Hoyos, we mentioned his experience as well. The addition during the summer of Casemiro was supposed to bring a bit more solidity in the back line, which has had so many questions asked of it over the last couple of seasons from Miami. They tried to flick the ball forward, but it's poor again, this time from Casemiro. And out of play, and time is certainly running out now for Miami. Nashville leading by 4-1. You're listening to this on this unofficial off-tube commentary. At this stadium here in Nashville that's been open for the last 4 years now. The 30,000 seats not all occupied for tonight's game. There's a fair bit of pink as well, but it's those in yellow who are enjoying it far, far more. Miami will make a fourth change in a moment. Delinois, a 21-year-old Haitian, was recently promoted from the second team to the main side. He got his first minutes in the last 2 games in the Cup against Monterrey and Lyon. And he's going to find himself with his first ever game in the domestic league as well. It's all Miami can really do. He makes his way on for the goal scorer, Segovia. Well, what a moment for Lovens Delinois. Great name as well. And what a moment for him to make his debut against with the likes of Suarez, DePaul, Neymar, Casemiro. He'll certainly remember this evening, if nobody else in a Miami shirt does. But those in yellow certainly will. As it stands, Nashville 5 points clear at the top of the league. A remarkable season, continues to get even better. 5 points ahead of Inter Miami, who share the Eastern Conference as well. There's 13 points in the Eastern Conference ahead of New England Revolution. And 9 points ahead of Houston Dynamo, who lead in the Western Conference. Despite Houston Dynamo winning, Bauer is going to make his way on as well for Nashville, in place of Baker Whiting. Asking him to come off a little bit quicker. The new rules have come in for that 10 seconds to get off the pitch. As Josh Bauer makes his way on, the experienced centre-back, member of the 2025 trophy-winning squad. Reliable depth across a demanding schedule as Miami have a free kick. 2.5 minutes to go. Messi takes the free kick and it's just wide of the left-hand post. And we almost just saw a little bit of late magic from Messi and Miami there. But not to be on that occasion. Baker Whiting, the 21-year-old American, the former Seattle homegrown, acquired in February, was the man that came off. But it's going to be Nashville's light unless something incredible happens. Their 24-goal difference, the best in the league. More points than any other side. More wins than any other side. 2 more wins, in fact, than anybody else. Less losses than the entirety of the league. And only 2 sides have scored more goals than them. One of those is Inter Miami. The other is Cincinnati, who love to concede as many as they like to score, with 44. 46 for and 45 against. Well, they've conceded less than anybody else. Their defensive record is something to be desired. Only Vancouver Whitecaps and LAFC come close. 17 and 19 that those 2 sides have conceded. 60 seconds plus stoppage time to go. It's lost on the near side, but it's throw in it goes Miami's way as Delanois just tried to dance and wriggle free on the near side, and he wins his side a throw in late on. But a season that has everything so far for Nashville. And what a game it's been for them as well. A penalty save for Schwarke and an assist as well for the goalkeeper. 4 goals to Nashville's name, 2 from Mukhtar, 1 a back heel from Surridge. The first half goal from Najal, which started everything off, but arguably the best player was Elias Saad, who was excellent throughout his stint in this game before being taken off. We're up to 90 minutes in the contest. Time added on. The 4th official will display it. He's just putting it into his board at the moment, and it's 9 minutes of additional time here. And Lionel Messi goes down on the edge of the area again, trying to win his side a free kick, but the referee tells him to get up. The best referee of the last 2 years inside the American League. And he's had an excellent game this evening as well. I think he's got every decision near enough right. Messi continues to smile in the direction of the referee. He's only ever been sent off twice in his career, Messi. But if he continues in the way he's going, the referee may brandish a second yellow card. He's never been double booked. Lionel Messi. And he needs to be careful. Still trying to get his side high up the pitch. Houston Dynamo still leading against LA Galaxy down in Texas by 1-0. Colorado Rapids, Sporting Kansas, Real Salt Lake, Minnesota. They're all at half time. They'll kick off in the next couple of minutes or so, maybe 5 or so minutes. You can watch those games whenever they can be shown in your local area, same as this game. We'll bring you the sound. But here comes Mukhtar, lays it towards the left-hand side, chance for 5, but Surridge gets well underneath it. He hails from England. He'll have seen plenty of rugby, and that's one that would have got 3 points in the game of rugby. But in the game of football, it's high wide, and it's not very handsome from Sam Sturridge. Chasing his second of the evening, his 13 of the season. Falcon probably did enough just to put him off with the slide tackle coming inside the box. But the benchmark has been set by Nashville. 7 minutes of the 9 added on still to play. Nashville had a couple of players out in Uzbek. Espinoza was managed to bring himself back into this game. Uzbek was questionable, the Australian midfielder. Miami, they are without Allende, Silvetti and Mikhail. Lionel Messi was available at the cut-off. He returned and played against Lyon on the 12th of August. It just hasn't been Miami's night whatsoever. They pulled one back just before half-time, and it looked like it may have turned into their favour with that goal. Momentum can always swing as Suarez has the ball inside the area, lays it down towards Messi, back off the post, and oh, he's off the post on the other side. And that just sums up his night. It sums up Miami's night. Suarez laid it down. Excellent work on the edge of the area from Allen. In towards Suarez, played it back in towards Messi. His first time strike came off the bottom side of the left-hand post. It came back towards Messi. He was alert on his heels, on his toes. And then, as he tried to play it into the bottom right-hand corner, it came back off the other post again. He's missed a penalty. And then just can't seem to find a way. De Paul with the ball. Tries to play it in towards Messi once again. The better option would have been to go towards the far side of the pitch to the waiting Ruiz, who had plenty of space. But De Paul tried to feed it in. The games between LA and San Diego and San Jose, St. Louis City have all kicked off as well. The late games there. Just gone 20-10 local time here. After the half-7 kickoff, 5 minutes, well, should have been a half-7 kickoff. It didn't kick off for another 10 to 15 minutes, and the second half didn't kick off until 5-2, the top of the hour. And we'll finish closer to 10 o'clock. And we will to the 9:30 mark. When you normally say 2 hours after a game is declared to start, then that will be the end of it. But Messi's coming again forward, trying to get it onto his right-hand side. Can he find a way back in? And he has found a goal, but the linesman's flag goes up on the far side. He has asked for it to be checked. The linesman put his flag up rather quickly. The Nashville fans celebrating in that corner, putting up their fake flags to annoy some of the Inter Miami fans that made the journey. They've got a fair few fans outside of Miami and Florida, mainly for the man that thought he may have found a goal and finally found a way past what has been a very stubborn Nashville defence that hasn't given him too much space at all. The frustration has built up for the Argentinian. 3.5 minutes of the 9 added on still to play. Nashville will go away with the 3 points and a 5-point gap at the top of the table. It was Miami's to play for here this evening. Nashville, though, have given themselves a little cushion at the summit. As Tagset has the ball halfway inside his own half. Brings it forward, and he just played it towards the right-hand side, but it's left by Shaq, and it goes out for a throw, and I'm not too sure who was leaving that for. Shaq there, he was pretty close towards the touchline. As the ball's played out of play once again, this time by Lovitz. Taken quickly by Miami. Time is running out. Time has run out, really, for the away side here. All they can do is try and find a consolation goal late on. They scored in stoppage time at the first half. Can they find something in stoppage time at the end of the second half? DePaul inside the centre circle. Moves it towards the right-hand side, just skips on through. Can it be kept in? Almost done. It's almost brilliant play over on the far side by Ruiz. He did ever so well to stop it going out for a throw-in, but couldn't stop it going out for a goal kick. In fact, the official over on the far side has given it as a throw-in to Nashville. It looked like he just about kept it in. On the far side, he just turned on the afterburners and just about got there, I thought. But the linesman was half a yard away from it, so we can probably give him benefit of the doubt on that occasion. Messi comes forward again, trying to drive towards the centre of the box. Deflected on the way through. And rather easy for Schwager, who dives on top of the ball and cradles it like a mother cradles a newborn baby. Messi still frustrated, still protesting to the referee. He thought he should have had a free kick in. He was shoulder to shoulder with the Nashville defenders. But he's just showing his frustration more than anything. The decisions haven't gone his way on this occasion. He was used to it during the competition in the summer. And the Inter Miami coach has picked up the ball on the pitch. There's Hoyos, and the free kick will go Nashville's way. It was played out. It was going to be a throw into Nashville. Guillermo Hoyos just came onto the pitch, stopped it from going out of play. And they're trying to protest it. Bright's trying to protest it with the referee. The referee's just laughing in his face. I'm not too sure there's any excuses. He's an experienced coach. You've got to keep yourself in your technical area. He came onto the pitch to try and stop it. Really rookie move from the Inter Miami coach. And that really just sums up the entire evening that they have had here. We're coming up to the 9 minutes added on. Nashville still attacking, a little bit of trickery over on the far side. The referee waves the game, and that is full time. Suarez has gone down under a bit from Lovitz on the far side. He's trying to get something, but if anything, it's all going to be in vain. It's Nashville's night. They go 5 points clear at the top of the table. In the first half that Nashville dominated, but couldn't take a half-time lead. A bright start led to a goal inside 20 minutes. As Saad put an inviting cross into the box for Najer to meet at the far post. Miami should have levelled after Suarez was fouled by Palacios inside the penalty area. Messi's penalty was saved excellently down to the right-hand side from Schwager. That step-up penalty failing once again. He missed 2 in the summer competition, and he missed another this evening as well. The follow-up from Regular was ruled out. Nashville threatened for a second, but it was Miami who levelled when Messi found Segovia, who turned beautifully before tucking into the far corner and into stoppage time for a half-time to bring it back at half-time 1-1. The second half then started wonderfully for Nashville. Sam Sturridge has given man of the match in this game here, and I'm not too sure that is correct. Saad was probably my man of the match of the game. Mukhtar gave Nashville the lead once again from the left-hand side, just picking it up and just tucking it into the far corner. Three came from Sturridge as the ball came down the right-hand side from Espinosa's cross. A little back heel in before Rios Novo could get there. Then 4 came after horrendous goalkeeping from Rios Novo. It was a free kick for Miami, floated in towards the box. Out came Schwake. He sent it forward. Rios Novos slipped and let in Mukhtar, who tucked it in graciously for his second into an empty net. Segovia had a chance from a Suarez cross but couldn't get it out of his feet, and right at the end of the game, Messi hit the post on the left, then on the right, trying to find something out of this game. Wasn't his night, normally finds a goal against Nashville, couldn't this evening to add to the 16 he has scored against the league leaders. But it is the league leaders. The best home form has upended the best away form. Nashville's 9th on home soil. Miami's second defeat on the road. The 5-point gap is there. It finished Nashville 4 into Miami 1. Good night.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps, and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.